Good evening. Nice and smart, aren't I? Um, so Jehovah's Witnesses, this is following on, because there's all kinds of allegations being made on the YouTube. Jehovah's Witnesses are disappearing. Tens of thousands leave each year. The downfall has already started. Witnesses disappearing. Jehovah's organisation going up in smoke. So, and it goes on and on and on. So, what is really happening? Well, in 2024, if you see my video on the review of 2024, there's a JW Broadcasting, and I do a review of it, of what has happened in the last year. They summarised it in that broadcast on jw.org. Basically, they brought in an arrangement that got rid of the disfellowshipping arrangement, and that's been the most unpopular arrangement that Jehovah's Witnesses have experienced over many years. Where Jehovah's Witnesses, when someone was thrown out, as it were, disfellowshipped, they then were shunned. That has ceased. Shunning has stopped. Jehovah's Witness organisation cannot tell its members to get on with people, family members they may not get on with, but the official shunning policy is finished. If you're an ex-Jehovah's Witnesses and you walk into a Kingdom Hall, you should find that people will actually speak to you. They won't go down the pub or have a meal with you, but they will be friendly to you. And often if you're in a congregation area and they know of your existence, you'll have already been visited. In fact, Jehovah's Witnesses have been visiting people, their elders have been visiting people for 9 months since March 2024, and more than 20,000 have returned. Many have returned to the meetings for about a month and they've been reinstated. That means they're accepted back as Jehovah's Witnesses fully. The term now, if there's a disciplinary process, is called remove. Now, you could be removed. That can still happen. Say you want to have an affair and I'm going to have an affair and I don't care about my wife or my views about God, then a person is free to do that, aren't they? The congregation has to do something about it. They've got to stop you preaching the good news and pretending to be a witness if you're not behaving like one. So there still has to be a disciplinary policy. There was a question brought up about Jehovah's Witnesses had shares. In 2011, they had shares in companies making arms. I investigated it myself. I asked for more information from people. I searched on the internet and I found that I was getting into one particular website that just wouldn't let me in unless I kind of paid up to see their material. So I haven't been able to find out any more about that. They make allegations that, Jehovah's Witnesses were involved in the United Nations. Yes, they were involved as librarians. They basically got a card or permission from the United Nations to access their archives, their extensive worldwide library. Jehovah's Witnesses had joined the library. Basically, that's what it was. Then eventually they thought, well, we better stop, so they stopped. But that was some 20 years ago, and people still hark on about that, saying that Jehovah's Witnesses condemned the United Nations and they joined them. No, they didn't actually join them. They joined their library. So there we are. And then they say, well, everybody's leaving. No one's staying at the meetings. But ask any Jehovah's Witness, and their Kingdom Halls, the Kingdom Hall where I live, is relatively full, and there's a large number, at least 30%, who are on Zoom. So if everybody on Zoom and everybody at the meeting was there wouldn't be room for visitors in their seats, So, and bear in mind, Zoom is a really good facility because it enables the Jehovah's Witnesses who are not so well to be at home, to keep their germs at home or their disability, but they can still be involved. They can still answer up and be involved in the what you would call the church activities, which is rather nice for them, isn't it? If you're an old deer or something, so that's nice. Now, numbers. Are hundreds of thousands leaving? Well, every year some 100,000 used to leave Jehovah's Witnesses anyway. They were disciplined, thrown out as it were, or they just left, While that's happening, people are coming in, Often there are 250,000 baptisms every year. Some of those will be converts and some will be people's children growing up. So there's always been an increase. Now, it's true, increases has slowed down considerably. From Jehovah's organisation right through from the 20s right up to the year 2000 was increasing at 5% a year annually. Now it's the best increase that any religious organisation has seen in the world. Sadly, since 2000, the increase went slowly down to about 1.3% per year. After COVID, it was really quite bad. So it was 1.3-ish% annual increase, which is not good. But after COVID, by the year 2024, increases 2.4%. 2.4, which is the best since we passed the 2000 year mark. So increases slowly recovering. And remember, the 2024 service year is actually the 2023 one. So the 2024 the proper one will be even more. 8.8 million, but the peak publishers was 9 million. The number of people attending Memorial was around about 22 million. But that will have been a year or so ago. So the very latest figures will be more. So I'm guessing it's closer to 24, 25 million who attend Jehovah's Witnesses meeting as a peak. And the number of preachers exceeds 9 million. So I don't quite think, how are we going up in smoke? One of the videos actually said on the cover, it said, by the end of 2025, there won't be Jehovah's Witnesses. So let's wait and see. I'm sure he will go quiet when we get to December the 31st, 2025. So I think this is wishful thinking. Because Jehovah's Witnesses policies worldwide are becoming more kinder, more loving, that God is a God of mercy, that's been really, really highlighted. In other words, Jehovah's Witnesses are being encouraged to be much more kinder. Their preaching methods are much more kinder. They're not sticking to a particular introduction when they talk to you. They might just have a chat. And if you don't have any inclination to learn more about the Bible or have any questions, they'll just have a chat to you like you would chat to anybody and go along. You would probably not even know that they're Jehovah's Witnesses if you're standing in a queue and you've chatted to someone. Just say, oh, well, at least some people chat. That's nice. So Jehovah's Witnesses are now not pushing their religion on, not preaching as it were so much. They're trying to make friends and see how you get on. And if you have any concerns, eventually you will express them, won't you? So, I wish the world was a better place or something. And then you're opening the door for them to tell you it is going to be better soon. Because God himself really loves us. Oh, I don't believe in God, you see. So that's how Jehovah's Witnesses, their preaching work is becoming more loving, more kind, they're more concerned about people. So they're going to continue growing. And I think there's a reason why so many anti-witnesses are around is because Satan he's the ruler of this world. He's the one manipulating affairs. He's getting desperate because he knows that the organisation of Jehovah's Witnesses is going to go even stronger, especially as we approach to the end. And Jesus said, as you see these things start to occur, that's all the bad things that are foretold by Jesus in the last days. He said, raise your heads up because you know your deliverance is getting near. And remember, Jehovah's Witnesses have the hope that they're going to be saved. They're going to get their health back. They're going to get into a world which is being cleaned up by Jesus and the holy angels. And that's a marvellous future to cling on to. Whereas people outside in society see it getting worse. They're getting more distressed. They're more worried. They're more concerned about everything. And so that contrast, and people will see that contrast. Why isn't this person so distressed? That will draw them. Because Jehovah's Witnesses now believe, because some say, oh, they're the only one, they think they're the only ones that will be saved. Well, Jehovah's Witnesses have had it hammered into them that if they're not careful, they won't get saved unless they behave themselves and get on with what Jesus commanded. And basically the governing body, that they're the people that kind of guide the organisation, they have made it clear that there could be a huge influx of people, hundreds of millions maybe, when Jesus is about to judge humanity and sort it out. Because they will see the whole world about to be destroyed, ruined, whatever. So that is a really exciting future, and that's why we will continue growing from strength to strength. So all these people who are anti-witnesses, this is hopeful. They are putting things in here because they're hoping it'll happen. But it's a dream. It ain't going to happen. So thank you very much. I don't think I'm going to bother making another video about this lot. So take care, everybody, and subscribe. And if you want to know more about studying the Bible, there's lots of information on this channel and its sister channels. So take care, and I'll see you again, hopefully. And if you've got any comments, you've got questions, just ask. I will probably refer you to a section or a video that I've done on it already. But you can look on jw.org. You type a question in on Google search, and then at the end of the question, you just put jw.org, and it will take you straight in. Then you don't have to go to the site and try and find it. It will take you straight into where it is. For example, if you say, are Jehovah's Witnesses Christian? You see, because people in the church say they're not Christian. So as you say, are they Christian? You know, if you put that in and then put jw.org at the end, bang, it'll go straight into there and find you the answer straight away. That's really good. And if you're lazy, I'm sure you're not, but if you're lazy, there's a little asterisk you push, and it'll read itself to you if you can't be bothered to read. It'll read it out. Anyway, take care. Thank you very much. And our governing body loves you very much. It loves its us, Jehovah's Witnesses, very much. It often calls us friends. And Jehovah God, the creator of the universe, loves us very much. His son loves us very much. In fact, he gave his life because he loves humans, all humans, very much. So take care, and I'll speak to you again, hopefully.